I mean, the great personality value himself. Himself is the value. His value is not rested on what come out of him. His value is in whom he is. And grace is internal. Any personality that dwell in the realm of grace, that man, that woman celebrate an everlasting understanding. A revelation that has no end. That is grace. Everything that are changed in a transit cannot be measured to the measurement of grace. Science and one is okay, but that cannot be measured with grace. Grace can only be measured by grace. And the measurement of grace is internal. And that's who I am. And that's who you are. Do you carry the internal consciousness? You must carry the consciousness of eternity to assess things, to review things in the transit. It takes the strength of eternity to handle things in the transit. Things in the transit are not meaningful. I am the one that gives them meaning, using them in accordance to the eternity purpose. The purpose of eternity give everything you can see meaning. I'm talking about the invisible, give the visible a meaning. Visible is meaningless without invisible. So if you cannot dwell in the invisible, you can't talk about grace. Grace men are invisible men. Grace men are men that dwell in the invisible, that reveal the invisible in the visible. Yet they never lose whom they are in the visible. They are conscious of whom they are in the invisible. These men are grace personified. These men, verse 3.
For they, being ignorant of God's righteousness, and going about to establish their own righteousness.
Can I talk to you? They are ignorant of the marriage of Jesus. It is in the marriage with Jesus you can find righteousness. You can't find righteousness anywhere. The only foundation where you can find righteousness is in the marriage with Jesus. Anything outside marriage with Jesus is not righteousness. It's the righteousness of man, which is a pointer to grace. Right now, that Old Testament is no longer a grace. It's a pointer to the grace of the fulfillment of the law. Are you getting what I'm saying now? The new righteousness of God can only be founded in marriage. Do you get it? The first obedience that Jesus obeyed is to take the righteousness of man and give man his righteousness. That is marriage. He took the ignorance of man. He took the strength of man and crucified it at the cross of Calvary and gave man his righteousness. So the righteousness of God marries his righteousness. And a righteousness is a finished life. It's a life that has been lived. Oh, we are the righteousness of God. Another righteousness of God, we are the wife of God by Jesus. So since we are God's righteousness, we are a fulfilled marriage. A marriage that has ended. A marriage that God has worked out the counsel of his will in that marriage. A marriage where the wife is at rest. A marriage where the wife is the husband. Righteousness of God marries me. I am God's righteousness. Me and righteousness of God is one. I'm the righteousness of God. You get it? I am the righteousness of God. I have the understanding of God's righteousness. I walk in the frequency of the righteousness of God. The righteousness of God is not the righteousness of man. The reason why men hate my marriage is because they cannot be able to assess the righteousness of God. The righteousness of God is a finished life of God. And this finished life of God is internal. So my marriage with Jesus is internal marriage. Am I talking to somebody? Hello, I don't reason to do anything. My reasoning cannot work out anything. I'm reasoning a reasoning that worked out all. I don't do anything. All has been done. The battle has been fought. I've seen all. I've succeeded in all. Why have I succeeded in all? I'm married to the righteousness of God. Righteousness of God is the owner of all. Is in charge of all. In the righteousness of God, all things exist in his righteousness. So the righteousness is first, and other things is under the righteousness of God. The righteousness of God gives strength to other righteousness. And other righteousness cannot be righteousness till the righteousness of God refuses himself in that righteousness. When I talk about the righteousness of God, I talk about the government of God. The government of my marriage is not the government of the people, by the people, for the people. It's the government of the will of my husband. As I'm functioning in the government of the will of my husband, if not my husband is over. In him I live, in him I move, in him I have my being. So my being is my husband. So I'm God. When you see me speaking, my husband speaketh. I'm not the one that's speaking, my husband speaketh. My husband speaketh. But me and my husband is one. I'm good to take home for rapture. I'm prepared for rapture because I'm the righteousness of God. So is somebody getting this understanding? This understanding is not understanding of unbelievers. This understanding is understanding of the wife of Jesus, that we are babies. This teaching is to develop you as a baby to grow into maturity in the marriage. There is something your husband will never use you to do because you have not matured. No demon, no forces that can stop your husband. But your husband, my husband, function in the principle of revelation of growth. In the growth, you review the agreement you have with your husband. I have agreement with my husband. Me and my husband is one, but on daily revelation of growth, reviewing growth that have grown, reviews my potentials, reviews my Godhead, reviews all he has made me. It takes a process to review all he has made me. Process will not tell him what he has made me. He has finished seeing what he has made me before process. He has consumed what he has made me before process. He's not just processing me to use me. He has finished using me. He's reviewing process when he has finished using me. Aya, Kanana, school, the Lima, and Aya. Go to the next verse.
For they, being ignorant of God's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of God.
What does it mean? Bring your face. They have not submitted themselves to them. Have not submitted themselves to the righteousness of God. What does it mean? They have not submitted to the marriage with Jesus. It is in the marriage you can see the righteousness of God. Outside the marriage, whatever you see is the righteousness of man.
And going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of God.
Can I talk to you? They are ignorant of the marriage with Jesus. The righteousness of God is the person of God, and is married to his righteousness in the man. But the man was ignorant of the righteousness of God, which is the wife of Jesus. The righteousness of God in a man is the wife of Jesus, and that righteousness is who you are. So men, we are going about trying to establish a righteousness that is not of God. They are not submitted to the righteousness of God. That submission is in the marriage of the righteousness of God. Any man that submitted in the righteousness of God, he submitted to his husband. And anywhere you see the righteousness of God, you see a life that has been planned. You see a life that all things have worked out. You see a life that has been fulfilled before revelation. Are we getting something? Submitting to your husband means submitting to the righteousness of God. Submitting to the understanding of your husband. Submitting to the provision that your husband has made. submitting to the authority of your husband. Anywhere you see the wife of Jesus, you see the demonstration and authority of a king. You see a demonstration and authority of the Trinity in action. Am I talking to somebody? The battle is not your battle, it's the battle of your husband. But in the marriage, all battle has every case has been settled. Men that are in God's righteousness, they fly on the wings of their husband. They sleep in their husband. They are hidden in their husband. Their husband is the offspring of all, submitting to the righteousness of God, submitting to the finished work, submitting to a righteousness where you don't plan, submitting to a freedom that has been sold. To the righteousness of God. What it means is to submit into victory, submitting to grace, submitting to assurance of tomorrow, submitting to rapture, submitting to holiness He has made you. What God has made you must submit unto Him. Whatever the husband has made the wife cannot function except in divine submission to the husband. Husband is in charge of home. Do you get it? If you get it, shout amen. Amen. Continue. Is the right person who believes the righteousness of God. You believe you are the wife of Jesus. So that's why you are holy. You are holy because your husband is holy. You are perfect because your husband is perfect. Are you hearing me? You are what you are because of what your husband is. The end of the law, the end of every righteousness, the end of single ladies, the end of people laboring. It ends in the righteousness of God. So it ends in the marriage with Jesus. Have you submitted into the righteousness of God? The life you are carrying is a submitted life. The life of the wife of Jesus, before you get into marriage, that life is a submitted life. Because it's a submitted life, it's a life that the husband has lived. I am a submitted life of